agree with you, but what I'm saying is that even though I might go to the conference because I do have the mindset, you will eat a man or career. I'm not gonna give y'all pushback on that. But what I'm saying is that, hey, because of the information that I receive, right? It's new information. Can new information be inspiration?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
New information.
I'm asking Angry Man. I want to see what's his
new information can be beneficial. But it's beneficial, but it's only beneficial to someone
that applies it.
Look, it's only beneficial. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a contrarian. This is what I question. It's only beneficial to someone who's already on that path. That's the point I'm making. The point I'm making is this: when a person decides to change a behavior, they make that decision in their own mind. I don't believe people get inspired by someone else to change their behavior. I don't believe.
Hold on. I got a question real quick, Sam. Real quick, let me ask this question. I apologize because I heard AM's story. AM was a barber, right? That's why I love listening. AM was a barber, and AM was giving good information to people concerning relationships, right? And people started saying, AM, you need to get this out to the world in the sense of your conversation because you can change people and inspire people. That inspired him to get on and start doing this. Right or wrong, AM?
That's not why I started doing it. I started doing this. Look, I started doing this because I saw something that pissed me off. That's why I started doing
the name Angry Man.
Okay, I remember that part. I remember that part.
I was sitting in my sister's apartment, and every chick that live in that neighborhood that's a single mother was coming in there on Father's Day, wishing each other a happy Father's Day. It pissed me off so much, I needed to vent about it.
And I inspired you to go to the internet and vent.
I didn't want to curse them out. I didn't want to curse them out. So I went to a parking lot, sat in my car, and recorded me venting about the shit. It wasn't inspiration. It was me wanting to say what was on my mind.
So you got inspiration from black women coming in the barbershop.
That was not inspiration.
Damn, I'm proud of you, big dog.
Can I get the definition of inspiration?
Hey, let me get this question.
We're not even speaking inspiration from a non-factual thing. Inspiration means a sudden good idea, a burst of creativity, an act of drawing air into lungs. It comes from the Latin word meaning to breathe into. So if you have a sudden good idea by watching or something, you had a good idea by watching the women be single mom, whatever they did, and it made you have a burst of creativity to make that live stream, and then that's carried on. That is the act of drawing into and to breathe into.
But
so
the,
that situation
the problem is y'all. But the problem is y'all saying that this inspiration. Hold on 1 second. The problem, we're not saying that people can't be inspired. We saying that they can't be inspired to change. That's the difference. Like, I don't think motivation comes from the outside. If you ever ran the business, just because somebody say some motivation stuff, when you get home by yourself, the motivation have to come from inside. And this is the exact same thing we said with change. Change come from the inside. It can be inspirational, but it can't change you.
Yeah, I didn't.
Did you hear what I said? That inspiration is a burst of a good idea.
Listen.
So
when I went, yeah, but here's the thing: we're missing the context, and Eda Man just pointed it out. There's a difference between a person that sees a sunset and they're inspired by it, so they go do a painting, or they write a song, or write some poetry or something. That's not them changing who they are. That's them tapping into their creativity because they saw something that tapped into their psyche, right? When I saw that, when I went and did that video, that was still me. That wasn't me changing. That's the shit I've been talking before that.
Yeah, maybe I missed the context then.
Hey, I got a question.
You changed the setting though. You changed where you were doing it at though.
I don't Angry Man. I mean, not Angry Man. Scam like can be trying to ask a question about 10 minutes.
Yeah, they keep it. Hey, Angry Man and Glenn. I think Glenn asked the question. Angry Man kind of going into it. And let's be reasonable. It's not like somebody talks to somebody one time and they change their life. That's 1 out of a million. But there's levels to this, just like coaches in the NBA and NFL. Think of the top 5 Dusties, including the one that came up, that drunk firefighter tonight. And then think of some people that's actually cool, that's all right, that you know from this space. If a single woman, 2 33-year-old single women that are on the borderline, let's be real. We got the women that are in the Nation of Wigwam. They out of control. Can't nobody do nothing with that. Then you got your super women, but ones that are in the middle. If you hooked her up with that firefighter, they're going down. If you introduce them to one of these decent dudes, they're going to go up. So when Glenn's asking about does the leadership have an effect? If a woman is a 5 and you put her with better men, she'll go up to a 6 or a 7. If you drop her off in the dust pit, she might go to a 2. She's going to start a platform and have 5,000 subscribers in a week, bashing every one of y'all. We know this. But I think that's what he's talking about because it's tied to men dating women and men's leadership or fathers' leadership. Like, if you put them in a good environment, you can push the arrow up. If you suck, the arrow goes down. Just like Greg Popovich made regular players play better. Chuck Daly, Larry Brown, and then overrated as Phil Jackson ain't nobody. That's all I got.
Can I give my experience?
Go ahead, Tori.
Okay, so a year ago, I decided I didn't want to drink no more. Like, I just had enough. I didn't like it. I prayed on it. I had a real bad experience, and that was it for me. My partner, like, he used to drink all the time. Like, even like that was just what he did with his friends or whatever. He would drink every day. Me stopping and not having alcohol around me and really just drinking water literally showed him that it can be done. And like not budging, he literally stopped drinking. Like, I've never seen that happen, but I feel like it was inspiration.
Right, because actually when you say, so inspiration is the divine spark that creates change. Change is the action required to realize the possibility, but inspiration opens your mind to new horizons. So if you understand the actual definition of what inspiration is and what the definition of change is that you get the spark and then the change comes after.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of people who inspired on New Year's to lose weight, and then guess what? They don't change.
That's a very negative way to look at things, and I think that's a thing. See, but men do inspire women. Men inspire women to do a lot of things if they're open to it. You're right. If they're willing to change, that men can inspire women. But I think that we get so negative and so in such a negative space all the time. Like, well, what they didn't do, but there's times when women do listen and they do follow direction. And what about those stories where a man come into a woman's life and he get her like to do something and then she becomes a better person from that?
That woman still changed from the inside out. Change come from the inside out, not the outside in.
It comes from the inspiration, and then that inspiration sparks the actual fuel within her to actually make the change.
If that was true, matter of fact, I ain't even gonna do it, bro.
If that was true, that was true. All y'all women to be changed. If we could just inspire y'all to change.
Let me ask Angerman this question. Angerman, do you think that you inspire any young men to do things differently after they listen to your podcast? They were on one course, they heard you, and they're like, what he's saying makes sense. I don't know, but I'm going down this other path, but he's kind of making sense here. I'm going to try this out. Could you not be inspirational to that person's changing the way that he operates his life and pivoting and doing something different?
No.
You don't think that's possible at all?
Come on, man.
No. What I think is this. What I think is just like the story of Moses when he came down from the mountain and he saw all his people cutting up. God told him to call out to his people. He said those that were righteous would hear him.
Mm-hmm.
So what I believe is when I go live on my show and I'm talking, the people that are attracted to what I'm saying are the ones that already was on the path in the first place. They already was looking for something. They was already looking for a word. They was already looking for some advice because they already made up their mind. They wanted to do something different. I don't think that a person that comes to my show that's on their bullshit and are comfortable in their bullshit, I don't think anything that I'm gonna say is gonna make them say, you know what, I'm gonna stop doing this bullshit that I'm doing. I don't believe that.
Hey, Anger Man.
So inspiration is bullshit.
That's a very negative way to
No, inspiration exists, but inspiration, I don't believe inspiration exists in the sense of it makes a person stop what they're comfortable doing.
Not to make the absolute change though, Anger Man. I'm saying that like ignite the
spark
to give the ignition. You give it a spark, and then now you focus and consciously focus on that thing. Not that it make you, that it changed you or that person changed you. You get what I'm saying?
No, this I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when a person inspires you, right? When a person inspires you, they're throwing wood on a fire that's already burning. It's just a small fire.
Yeah, but
like I don't think like if you had a fireplace that wasn't lit at all and you threw wood in there, it ain't gonna light.
Like you saying, if you didn't have the ambition to get it accomplished, you couldn't be inspired to do it.
If you don't got it in you to want to change, you're not gonna change. That's what I'm saying.
Inspiration is the spark, though. The inspiration is the spark. Someone can tell you something you never thought of before, and that inspiration of what they told you that you never even thought of can be the very thing that changes your life.
I'm gonna say this.
In general, a lot of people need to start a log.
I'm gonna say this.
Well,
I'm gonna say this.
Can I frame it differently? Maybe than you because you know, like there's some women that say like they don't ever want to have kids. I don't want to have kids. You guys seen that video where the woman was like adamant not having kids, and then she held that baby, and then all of a sudden she starts crying, and she's like, now she wants to be a mother. You know, like she was inspired by the baby's interaction with her to tap into her maternal instincts that she's already been suppressing, right? To now want to be maternal, right? Could that be, is that inspiration?
Yes, but okay. I think they're using some extremes as examples. When I was talking, that's why I was talking about average people who are on the fence. There's something there. They could go to the left, could go to the right. The right person could just pull them right over onto the right. The wrong person pull them to the left. Now your superheroes, your Greg Popovich, your I even say bad leader, Derek Jackson's, whatever it is, they got enough influence to say something to get people to get up and go move and go somewhere, the right direction or the wrong direction.
Okay. Check this out.
Only a small percentage can you move from a 2 to a 6. That's a small percentage.
No, I agree with that.
The fact that you can move from a 5 to a 6.
Let me ask you a question, Scam.
Me? Okay.
Who name a person, motivational speaker? It could be anybody. It could be Tony Robbins. It could be anybody. Name a inspirational speaker that could inspire Jay Prince for president.
Well, you niggas ain't shit.
Like I said, Edgar, man, if you put a woman next to it, they're gonna go from a 5 to a 1.
Give me the guy that can inspire Jay Prince for president to do a 180 and change from what he's doing right now.
When you find him, give me his number.
His son.
Because if you can find that guy, that can
I won't
do
be
that,
on this panel if I can find that dude.
He'll be a billionaire. He'll be a billionaire by tomorrow.
That's right.
I didn't want to say the name, but I was saying pick 5 Dusties. Let's take the drunk dude that just came up here. If you got a woman who is a 5, within 60 days, she's going to be a 2 if she's at his house. He is a D-spirement, whatever you call it. But some decent dudes that are almost as good looking as me, you're going to pull her up to a 6 or a 7.
But that's human beings' herd mentality. That's her being around him and developing the habits that he has. That's not inspiration.
There's inspiration in desperation.
But that's all inspiration is.
Yo, I'm gonna say this to all of y'all that think this way. You got a hell of a lot more faith in humanity than I do. That's all I'm gonna say. Because
I'm not
look,
disagreeing with your baseline statement though. About it has to be
sounds like a lot
go
of
ahead.
if what y'all are saying, say what?
That to like just completely just think that there's no inspiration, that you being around people, like, you know what they even tell you, if you want to become a millionaire, you hang around millionaires, right? If the three people that you have around you dictate how much money you probably make. If you're around a bunch of broke people, you're gonna probably be broke, right? But if you hang around people that's rich, then you have a better chance of becoming rich, right? So it's, what do they say? Tell me the people around a person and I can tell you what their life looked like, right?
Yeah.
So if that is not what inspiration is because the conversations are different, everything around them is different. So even their mind is going to change based on the people around them. So that is inspiration. That's what that is. It
plays a part, what she's saying.
You're conflating the power of habit. When people are around people that are successful and millionaires, they pick up habits that those people do. Okay, inspiration. If inspiration works the way you're describing right now, you wouldn't even have to be around a millionaire in order to be inspired by them. You could just see a millionaire on TV, and just his lifestyle would make you want to change your life completely.
But there's people that do that.
How often does that happen though?
That's kind of
it doesn't matter how often it happens. So why are we trying to pretend
it happens? But here's the thing. It happens for a reason. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. If a person sees somebody on TV that's a multimillionaire, we can't determine whether or not, because you can never know a man's mind. We can't determine whether or not that person was already on some I want to be a millionaire. You see what I'm saying?
That part does matter, Angry Man. I'm not saying it doesn't, but let's be real. You're a content creator. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking a 24-year-old and saying, hey man, because it's not just them seeing it done, seeing somebody rich, because they don't know what happened from A to Z. But if you call somebody up who's a brand new content, hey man, look, I'm gonna show you how to do thumbnails, this and this, but I need you to call me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm gonna show you how to do this. This is where I started. I was ugly 4 years ago, and now look where I'm at. That's the inspiration. You're building a connection, and they're buying into a system. Just like father to son. Hey, son, you're on the wrong track. But I was 16 too. Let me tell you about Big Booty Brenda I was chasing after. But you know what? I'm going to show you the way. We're going to work on your discipline. We're going to work on your game. We're going to get you tight. Larry Brown to Allen Iverson. Iverson was already Iverson. Yeah. Larry Brown took him to another level.
I'm gonna tell you what. I used to rent. Listen, I used to be a renter of houses. I used to never think about owning
another
a house.
level, but he didn't. He took him to another level, but he was working with something that was already there.
Yeah, I'm saying, like I said, 5 to 6, not 0 to 6. 0 to 6 is a long shot, but 5 to 6 is inspiration.
But here's the thing.
6 to 7 is inspiration.
Here's the thing. Let's think about this from the aspect of inspiration. Can a Pat Riley take a guy that has no athletic ability and make him an NBA player?
He can get him from a 0 to a 1 or a 3 to a 4, which is still inspiration. He can get him from maybe
Angry Man. Let me ask Angry Man a question.
But to get a scholarship at Texas Southern University or something and sit the bench.
Angry Man, you say you believe that. You believe that my fault. You say that you believe that inspiration is real, right?
Yeah.
But well, let me ask you, what would you say that it comes from?
Where does inspiration come from? It comes from God.
Only?
That's the only being that I believe can inspire a person to change 180.
But don't we all have God within us?
I'm in agreement with that.
God speak through a person and inspire that person?
Most definitely. I agree.
And here's
with
the thing. I can tell you a story, right? I was in Detroit, living in Hamtramck. I met a guy. He said, listen, you have reached the ceiling of what you're going to accomplish here in Detroit. And he said, listen, I need you to go on a map look at all the 5 cities where everything is going on at, where right now it's a recession, find 5 cities where it's not a recession. Texas was one of the places, right? Dallas was the best one aside from Austin. That when there's a recession in the rest of the United States, Dallas is not in a recession. I took a whim. I said, listen, I left my house in Detroit, moved down to Dallas. Every time I was around him, all he talked about was owning houses, right? I wasn't thinking about owning the house the whole time out before that, but all he talked about was owning houses, buying a house, doing, this is how you create wealth, rich dad, poor dad, all this different stuff. The Secret, Laws of Attraction, whatever. So now I own 2 houses, but he inspired me based on that in my mind. Like, okay, well, I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about being a mom, whatever, renting. I wasn't thinking about owning a house one day.
Okay.
But because I was around a person that constantly talked about owning houses, it changed my mind and inspired me. Well, maybe I should look into this owning house thing. And I found out, well, dang, you know what?
And
Getting
what?
evicted and doing this. I said, if I own my house, because I've been homeless before. If I own my house, I'm a way more steps away from being evicted than I would be if I were to you know what I'm saying? So
guess what? You listed off.
Read the back to Genesis.
And guess what? You listed off a bunch of different books, right? I've literally read all of those books in addition to one that you didn't mention, which is The Power of Habit. Everything you just described is covered in The Power of Habit. When you're around somebody and they're constantly saying certain things, that is programming you. Now, you can call that inspiration. I don't call it inspiration.
Can I say something, Ayon? Because I don't agree with that, because my dad flips houses. That's how he made his first $1 million. He tells me all the time, y'all gonna have to take over this business. That should be inspiring, but I don't want to do that. I should want to
exactly. You just proved my point.
That's why
you literally the statement you just made. Hold on, the statement you just made proved my point. Because regardless, let me ask you this: your father, would you say he's an inspirational guy?
Yes, he's very
inspirational, right? But that particular thing, he wasn't able to inspire you to do it, right?
Oh, and it pisses him off because he loves that. I just don't.
But you know why he wasn't able to inspire you to do that? Because you already made up your mind that you don't want to do that. It works in the opposite as well. A person can't inspire you to do something unless that seed is already there that you want to do that.
Literally, I feel bad because I feel like I should, but it's like.
But a person can do it though.
I know that's generational wealth.
You should feel bad.
But it's not.
You listen to what your dad tell you to do. No, I'm just messing with you, Lady Tori. Go
no,
ahead.
it's just
this is what. Matter of fact, let me break down. Let me break down what I believe inspiration is, and y'all can agree or disagree, right? Inspiration is like, let's say that P. Smurf was a singer, right? R&B singer, right? And he in a relationship with a chick, and she break his heart. And he wants to write a song about that. That's inspiration. That's what I believe inspiration is. When something causes you to tap into your creativity to express yourself. I don't think inspiration is an agent of change. I don't.
Do you think we're talking about influence versus inspiration?
There you go.
I just read the definition of inspiration. And no matter what I'm saying that inspiration is, what the Merriam-Webster dictionary says that inspiration drives change. So I don't get why he wouldn't think that you would be inspired and then change comes first. Like you have to feel inspired. Like I want to do, like, okay, something snaps in you, whether someone says something or you get a thought, whatever it is, a divine spark comes within you by maybe somebody said, you see something, whatever it is, and then you begin to make the change. It doesn't always have to be that it's a dream or God or whatever, a voice or whatever. Sometimes come from other people.
Hey, the first time you seen that that nice ass vid you went and purchased, you was inspired to go and grab you a black on black thing and squat him low and come through there with that motherfucker growling and barking at them boys. Huh?
That wasn't inspiration. Like that wasn't inspiration to change, because I had a fly ass whip before I got that one.
You had the Marrow.
So it wasn't like, see,
inspiration.
Way y'all describing it, that's
to
like
upgrade and change this thing. Hey, look here, I'm still Chevy boy. I'm still Chevy boy. Chevy riding high boy. But I'm going big boy Chevy this trip, and I'm going goddamn me. Cause you know that's that old 60-year-old retired nigga Chevy right there, boy. That goddamn me, that goddamn me vet. You feel me? So you went jump vet because of the inspiration and how it gripped the road and how mean that motherfucker sound, big dog.
No, here's the thing. Inspiration to change is if I was the type of guy that straight up hated Corvettes. If I was the type of guy that despised, I would never drive a Corvette. And then I see one, and because of the way it look and the way it drive, now I want to get one. That's the type of change y'all are talking about from inspiration, and that's not what happened.
You're talking about.
I don't know. You saying change? I don't think we going like. Yeah, I'm with Scam on what he's saying. Go ahead, Scam.
Well, no, that's what we was originally talking about. We was originally talking about inspiration changing someone from being bad to being good.
Bad to good is an extreme. That's why I use the borderline. Yeah.
Well, that's the original conversation.
Oh, even Edelman, everybody was saying somebody way out there, ain't that most 90-something% of the time ain't nothing you can really do. You can keep them jumping off a cliff or cutting somebody maybe, or you can keep them cutting somebody this week. But I mean, that's trying to, I mean, somebody who's a 1, maybe you can keep them going down to 0. Maybe if you're good, you can get them to go up to a 2. But you need some Tony Robbins at their house 3 days a week to get them to go from a 1 to a 7. I mean, that's not really.
But that goes into, can men aspire? And we said yes. Tony just said that.
But
or partners inspire each other. She's with her husband. She stops drinking. Her husband sees her. She inspires him. He begins to stop drinking as well. That's inspiration.
Yeah, I think that some of the stuff that I'm saying, my word is more influence, which is a complete package, where inspiration is only one factor of it. That makes sense? Influence is the whole deal. Like they buy into everything. Inspiration is more like just one spark, one light. And that can wear off kind of over time. But somebody got back.
I think you guys are conflating inspiration with motivation. Just because a person could be inspired by something, they might not have the motivation to do it, but that does not mean that they weren't inspired. So
actually, they're still inspired.
I think the inspiration, motivation, but it's all about, you know what they say, that luck is where.
I am okay. So I have the perfect analogy in my opinion, right? So I didn't work out at all. This is before I became a fitness trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting up at my boy crib, and he put on a Calisthenic King workout video. Dude named Hit Richards from New York. I seen it. I immediately was like, yo.
Hannibal for King?
No, not Hannibal. No, Hit Richards.
Okay.
I was like, yo, man, I ain't never seen that. That's crazy. Like, people can do that with their bodies, kind of like what Hannibal and all them do.
Mm-hmm.
And from I didn't work out at all. I did not work out. I was just a regular dude, street dude. But once I seen that video and when I seen what people can do with the human body, I was immediately inspired. And that changed me and motivated me to start working out. Would you agree to that? Because I didn't work out at all. I literally changed based off that video.
But were you adverse to working out?
No, I didn't. I wasn't working out at all. I wasn't doing nothing.
You just didn't care about it.
No, not at all. But after I watched that video, I immediately started working out, and I progressed and became a trainer. And now I got a whole fitness business. But off that one video, I was inspired. No lie. That's a true story.
I mean, that's a good example. I don't think I could argue with that. That's a good example.
so can we also bring that into also like relationships, that the same thing can happen? It don't have to be a video, and someone could just speak life into you and then inspire you and say, you know what, maybe I need to change.
So somebody asked how old I was. Real quick, I apologize, Genesis. I had to be about 30 or 31 because I had never worked out in my life until I was like 30 or 31 years old. So once I see
was it God on that workout video working out? Was it God?
It was God that built.
Well, you wasn't inspired. God damn it! I don't give a damn what you say.
Only when God said it. Oh my God!
It was God. It was God.
We all
that
have
built,
God within us.
It was God that built the dude that was working out. Let's be real.
He just repeated what I said.
No, first of all,
yeah,
see,
Genesis, we believe something different than you, though. When you say God in us, we talking about the Spirit, Holy Spirit. We talking about God, the Creator, is in us.
But let's be clear about this. Wait. Let's
God,
be
the
clear.
Creator, like, see, you
no.
okay,
but specifically, I'm talking about the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ.
Okay, just because it might be Jesus Christ. Okay, so in your religion is Jesus Christ. To me, is Olodumare.
Okay, well, let's be clear about where this conversation started. Okay, now even though the example that Trey gave was a good example, I don't see none of y'all inspiring these hoes to stop being hoes. Because that's where the conversation started.
That ain't no nigga job.
Well, actually, that's
who's signing up for that?
Now, Angry Man, actually, that brings back up to my original question.
You know what? Just like we have the elite, we have the workers, we have the people that's going to be. Listen, the elite exists. There's people that work for the elite. There's places in the society for hoes. There's places,
but that's not
people.
The argument.
So you keep talking about hoes. Men always want to like say a hose, right?
Okay, so number one, I'm talking about that because that was the
certain
original.
Women are hoes, so the
reason why I'm talking about that is because that was the original premise of the question. The original premise was, can husbands inspire a bad woman to be good? That was the original premise.
I mean, she could be a bad woman on different levels.
So hoes aren't bad women?
Okay, but there's different types of bad women. A hoe is not the only type of bad woman.
Why is it, Trey, let me ask you a question. Why is it every time we bring up hoes, women are defending hoes? Why is it every time we bring up the word hoe, every time we bring up the word hoe, women who claim not to be hoes want to defend hoes?
Hey, Anger Man.
But you know why. They love
I'm not defending hoes. All I'm saying is that like there's different types of women out here, and so why do y'all keep focusing on hoes? There's different types.
That was the original premise.
No, it was not. He didn't say these hoes. He said no.
It was
a bad woman.
It actually was.
Listen, a bad woman could be a woman that don't clean her house.
A bad woman
could be
a bad woman.
Dirty that don't clean her house.
A hoe ain't a bad woman.
A bad woman could be a bad woman.
Hold on, Genesis. We understand that. No, Genesis, don't do that.
It actually does fall in context.
Hold on, we understand what you, Genesis. We understand what you're saying, but stay with what Anchorman talking point, please, respectfully.
That was the original.
He said it's a woman that is considered a 304 considered a bad woman from your perspective.
I mean, there's different types. I don't know.
Come on, man. Just answer the question.
No, she just using what she got to get what she wants.
No. Answer the question.
What type of 304? A prostitute?
No, wait a minute.
Paid?
Is hoeing bad?
A person that.
Okay, answer the question.
Is hoeing bad? Is hoeing bad?
Y'all are gonna like my statement.
Scam, shut up.
I honestly think that there's a place for hoes and there's a place for regular women.
So where is the place?
Question. It's not the question. The question
he said is 304 and bad. Answer the question.
No, I don't think that hoeing is bad.
You know I don't curse.
Hoeing is not bad. If a man is paying for some pussy and he wanna pay her to fuck her. And get
that right there, Glenn, is the reason why I said even though men are problem solvers, that's the reason. That's the reason why I said, Glenn. Even though men are
we're not
problem.
talking about women as promiscuous.
Genesis, do you hear me talking, Genesis?
Yeah, I hear you, but I'm
okay.
saying,
So stop talking over me.
I wasn't even done talking.
So stop talking over me.
I wasn't done talking. You talked over me. I wasn't done with my statement. What I said.
You're rambling. Land your plane.
Rambling. No, I'm not rambling. I'm gonna land my plane.
Yes, you are. You're mad because we talking about hoes and you want to defend them.
The moment I said
you did answer the question though.
No, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that a 304, there's different levels of 304.
No, there's not.
All of it's
No, it's not.
It is.
Genesis, no, it's not. No, it's not. There's not no different levels.
Now I got a question.
Yes, there's different levels. That is true.
Damn, no, it's not, bro.
Yes, it is. Come on.
What is the good hoe?
That's a profession nowadays. It's called strippers.
What is a good hoe then?
Y'all true.
And half of young married men be fucking these prostitutes. Shut it up.
And Glenn, that is the reason. That is the reason. And Glenn, that is the reason. That is the reason why I said, even though men are problem solvers, and even though I will admit that men played a role in what women have become today, you can't fix that. There's no fixing that.
That's a mindset. Somebody has to choose it.
You can't. If women believe that there's nothing wrong with hoeing, you can't fix hoeing.
I agree.
So let me ask you.
Glenn, hold on. Before you took, Glenn, I got one more question.
You at least made it balanced.
Genesis.
I retract my statement.
Hold on, real quick. Hey, Genesis.
Yep.
I'm gonna put myself on the chopping block because it's just a hypothetical. I just put context out there, right? If I offered you a certain amount of money, would you let me smash?
How much money?
Hey, what my man KS
Yes, I'm a hoe. I guess I'm a hoe.
And that is.
Make this shit
up. That is.
God,
I got a question for you. I got an anger man.
Hey, Trey, go ahead,
depending on what Bill do, goddamn it. What the fuck are you?
And there it is right there. Now we know why you got upset.
Is my gas?
Now we know why you got upset when I said something about hoeing.
Yeah,
hey, there are levels.
Y'all need to.
Don't act like there's not.
So I got a question for you, anger man.
Wait. She gonna say I'm in a bind, Nate. I'm in a bind, Nate.
What the fuck is you talking about?
What's the question?
I'm in a bind, Nate.
So the question is, if men have some responsibility for the women that we have today,
Genesis, hold on. Let him ask the question.
If men have some responsibility for the women that we have today, then don't men have responsibility to correct and then provide grace for women those that are slow learners?
It's too far gone.
Should, yes. Well, anger man. Are you talking about a gap where it's a good man at a 7 dealing with a 2?
You said what?
It implies that the message is this dude is a 7 or 8 and he's dealing with a 2, which is imbalance anyway.
No.
I'm talking about this. Like, okay, if we're saying that there is a hoe epidemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have to admit that there was a bunch of men that wanted hoish behavior from women.
Yes.
Right? So we can let's go. I'm gonna take it back in time. We're gonna go back in time. Women wanted a sexual revolution because they wanted to be absolved from the consequences of sex, which is children. Right? They wanted to get the birth control pill. They wanted abortion so they could avoid the consequences of sex. Right? Men took that and say, well, we have free sex. Well, now we're going to commercialize sex. You know, like Playboy, Hustler became commercializing sex. Right? Carl's Jr. commercials. If it doesn't get all over your face, it doesn't belong in your place. You know, right? They commercialize sex. So men have contributed to rewarding the bad behavior of promiscuity. So therefore, if we want women to change, don't we also have to provide correction and then grace for that change?
No, you can't really provide correction. And the reason why you can't provide correction is because there's too many men that encourage it, monetize, engage in it, and all of that. The only thing that men can do is, you have supply and demand. As long as there's a demand for something, it's going to get supplied. So the only way that you can solve that problem is men have to stop consuming that.
Yes.
It's the only way.
Therefore, men are rewarding the bad behavior that they claim that they dislike.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So then it goes back to, are men the problem solvers because they're rewarding the very bad behavior that they dislike?
Well, see, that's what I said earlier. I said that basically, if you're saying the way modern women have evolved today, did men play a role in that? Absolutely. Because there used to be a time where a man did not want to be seen in public with a lady of the night.
Yeah.
They don't care now. You feel what I'm saying? They don't care.
Yeah.
So you have men encouraging it and monetizing it. Because when you look at these female rappers that rap about basically hoeing, a lot of times it's guys that wrote those songs.
Yeah, like Safari.
Yeah. So guys have played a major role in that. And when I say guys, I'm speaking in general, but you got to realize there's a portion of men that's cool with that, but there's a portion of men that ain't cool with that. So unfortunately, it's just like with the simp thing.
Yeah.
How you gonna combat that if you're a dude that's not a simp, but for every dude that ain't a simp, there's 10 simps? How you gonna combat that?
You can't. That's the problem.
Well, I think we can on a micro level, not on a macro level.
Yeah, let T get in there. You're trying to speak.
Would you say that most men are just in general, like just men, like all ages right now in 2026, are most men of age looking for marriage material women at this moment? Or are they looking for hoes? Just somebody to smash?
I think it's a loaded question, and not necessarily loaded. I think there's a two-way to answer this question. I think the same man that's looking for a wife is also the same man looking for something to play with.
That kind of answers the question, but it's contradictory.
Let me say this.
You can't look for crack and fruit and vegetables at the same time.
Here go the problem, Lady T. A lot of men don't have access to women. Women are attracted to a lot of these guys out here. True. Right? That's why it's a small number of men that get all the women. Most of the time when I walk into the bar, I'm gonna get a good choice before a lot of the guys beforehand. So they're waiting on me to turn those women down. Once I turn those women down, now they only have those options. And that's the problem. Those are the guys that's complaining because maybe they would marry, but first they got to get access and they don't have that access.
Well,
so are you saying the ugly niggas is the problem?
Big time.
Well, here's the issue. It's not just the ugly niggas. Here's the problem, right?
Just asking.
Because I had this debate with Ilkhan Ali and Izzy Bands, right? The problem is because of the way our society is today, because this is what I presented. I said, we could solve this problem if everybody decided they're not going to have sex until they got married. And the response that was given back to me is, come on, angry man, it's 2026. So what I said was this: the problem is there are too many men that want to piss in the pool when they're young, and then when they get older and they decide they want to get married, they want to go back to that same pool expecting it to be clean water.
Yep.
That's the problem, right? That's the issue.
Absolutely.
So
same thing with women though, too. Same thing with women.
Yeah, I was ready to say, wait a minute, T, because here's the thing. Even though I will put that on the men, the counterpart to that is the men wouldn't be doing that. They wouldn't be able to do it if women didn't always fall back on their sexuality to get money and resources and things of that nature.
Now, wouldn't you say that women use?
But women are hypergamous, right?
But there was a time where women couldn't even make no money and couldn't even do that unless they were in the strip club selling food cat.
That's
not
how much
true.
money they was. Listen, being a housemaid.
That's not true.
So they had a choice between being a housemaid, living in the house, being a housewife.
I think I get what she's saying because of the changing factors.
Nope, that's not true.
Hey, Sam, don't do that, Sam. Stop.
More money
Don't
does
do
that.
that.
I wasn't even done talking. He just interrupted me.
Genesis, hold on. Hold on now. Peace Murph, hold on. Peace Murph. Genesis, you cut Glenn off.
That was true.
My bad.
But so
that's not true. And the reason why it's not true because there's a lot of agriculture that women could have been doing. They could knit, they can sew, they can create clothing. They got so many means of making money. They just choose to be lazy. And what's the easiest way for them to be able to make the same amount of money in a great sense when it comes to opportunity, and that's lay on their ass because they ain't got to do nothing.
Who was the one who
I won't say
started
it's easy, but
the men getting the women to do that? What are we talking about?
Men do not.
Gotta want to do.
Who own the strip clubs? Do women own strip club or do men do?
who went there? Who went to look for work
Who
there?
the pimps? Is the men the
doesn't
pimps?
matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
So you telling me because they own the strip? Wait, hold on, Glenn. Hold on, Glenn. I apologize.
yeah, well, Genesis, we're covering both sides.
Hold on, Scam Lightly. So you're saying this, Genesis? You're telling me just because they open up a strip club, you're telling me just because they open up a strip club, you got to take your ass in there and shake your ass.
That's exactly what
What I'm trying to tell you is all that stuff.
I asked the question. Can you answer my question, my dear? So you're telling me because McDonald's got meat like burgers, I gotta go in that mug and eat their burgers.
So what you gonna do after you when you get finished planting your seeds and wait for the harvest? How you gonna make money in between?
Hey, Genesis.
Knit some t-shirts.
No,
Genesis.
People used to do it back in the day. Here's the thing.
All of us were covering both sides, men and women. All of us.
Just because, look. Here's the thing. There's certain communities they don't open liquor stores in, and the reason why is because they ain't gonna make no money. Just because you open something up, don't mean people got to participate in it.
I agree.
So when you say that, see, there's a lie that people love to tell. They be like, "Yo, that's the oldest profession." No, it's not.
It's not. Tool making is the oldest profession.
Tool making, carpentry, all sorts of stuff is the older professions, right? But see, here's the thing. This is what happens. What happened back in the day is that women, the reason why you ended up with brothels and saloons and stuff like that, those were women that either couldn't get married or wouldn't get married. So instead of them finding another, because back in the day, women usually would marry men. That's how they would live a better life and make money, right?
Yep.
But even back then, there were things that women could do to make money. But there were some women that weren't willing to do that because they knew the easiest way for them to make some money was to have sex with somebody, was to lay on their back. That's the truth. Even in this day, even today, when we watched how the economy got rough, as soon as the economy got rough, the amount of chicks on OnlyFans went up. The amount of chicks that got on those sugar daddy websites went up. All of those things went up because whenever women hit harsh times, they always fall back on that. Not all of them, but a lot of them will fall back on that.
Can I ask?
Can I tell you how wrong you are about that whole premise?
Let me ask a question.
The first people that were doing that, they were the actual
concubines
of the king. They were the concubines of the king. First of all,
you just told Trey how much money. So how you gonna argue against that?
The kings had concubines prior to everything that you're talking about. The kings had multiple wives. See, that's why romance is a construct. Is because the broke dudes came up with romance in order to get the women that was always hypergamous to the king and was his concubines. So everything you're talking about, you're talking about hoeing and everything like that. And this, they wanted the rich men. The women wanted they were.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Genesis, hold on.
You didn't get
Genesis. You can't use concubines because Genesis, respectfully, the reason you can't use concubines because I was educated, something I didn't know. Concubines actually had a contract.
And then on top of that, Trey, she can't use concubines because when the king had concubines, they wasn't allowed to have sex with nobody else. So those are not. In fact, this is how bad it was. This is how bad.
No, they were not.
Listen, this is how bad it was back in the day. This is how bad it was back in the day in some cultures. In some cultures, kings or rulers were so strict about nobody having sex with their concubines is that the male servants they had, they would castrate them.
Yep, that's where eunuchs came about.
So no, you can't use that as an example.
And then they came up with limerence and romance to be able to get women because all the king was taking all the women.
That's not true. That's not true.
But I want to hear
romance and all that stuff. Like, oh, I'm giving some flowers.
Let me think about it. Hold on.
That's not true.
Yeah,
I forgot what the question was.
I forgot what my question was. Sorry, y'all.
Well, I had a follow up. So, if we could say that men created the women that we had today, then some of the problem that we have to address as men is ourselves. We are rewarding the bad behavior that we're claiming that we want to stop.
That was along the lines of my question.
There's the accountability, right? So there's an accountability factor here on both sides that nobody when I say that we want to get rid of porn, I get really pissed off at these trad cons that go like Ali Beth Stuckey that tell men need to stop watching porn. Men need to stop, engaging in porn. Well, it's almost like telling the drug addict, we're going to arrest only you, the drug addict, but we're not going to arrest the drug dealer that is selling the drug, that's making the drug, right? So you have to go after both.
Like the person that owns OnlyFans.
On both sides, right?
Hey, so Glenn, this is my question, right? Well, this is my response. So you're telling young men in 2026 to dismantle something that was started years ago before they even came into existence.
Well, I'm telling them it's like
started by men.
Yes.
I asked Glenn.
I'm saying it's not whose fault it is, it's whose responsibility it is today. So it may not be my fault that all this is going on today, but it's on my watch, therefore it's my responsibility to address the problem.
So the average man would not be privy or educated to the perspective that you have in the angle you're coming from. Would you agree?
Oh yeah. I would think that most guys want to blame.
How can we dismantle something? Like, remember, the first rule of thumb is to acknowledge that there's a problem. Correct? So
yeah,
if these younger men are acknowledging, hey, these women are like this, but they don't know the inception of it. How? So are we, me, you, Anger Man, Scam, Pete Smurf, men like us, are we responsible and need to groom these younger men, or are the younger men?
Well, it's always, in Titus 2, it says older men teach the younger men how to be. Okay. Just like it says older women teach the younger women how to be.
I got
pushback. We have a responsibility to educate and inform.
Here's the problem. The problem is, this is the catch-22 about living in America, in a free country. The only way that you can really solve that problem is you would have to change the structure of the country to some shit that most people are not willing to accept.
I know
monarchy.
That's
so
true.
You would literally have to have the type of rulership in your country where they would outlaw certain things. That's the only way you can solve that problem.
It's legislation. I don't think legislation.
No, I don't know. I'm not saying legislation. I'm not talking about legislation. I'm talking about
legislation will be outlawing, right?
No, I'm not talking about that type of outlawing. I'm talking about in order for you to have the type of society where you could abolish that stuff, you wouldn't have legislation. You'd have like a monarchy. You'd have decrees. You feel me?
But even monarchs have legislation. They have laws.
I know it won't work, Scam. That's what I'm saying. Like the society that we live in, part of the thing, and I've thought about this a lot. When we talk about the freedoms of our society, right? there's a downside to that freedom. And the downside is the very thing that is partially the thing we're talking about right now.
I saw it today with the Dr. Fauci hearing this morning. This Negro, he not even a Negro, but Dr. Fauci pled the fifth over 100 times this morning.
And he's not supposed to do that because he has a presidential pardon.
But he did it. That's I was looking like, yo, every question I plead the fifth.
Yeah. See the
freedom of speech.
Well, can I present a solution and tell me if you guys think the solution works?
Sorry, I just had to go there.
This is on a micro level, so it's individual. Now, if I do not acknowledge any woman that behaves in a manner that I don't like, she's not receiving my attention. And if I only acknowledge behavior from women that I do approve of, that I do like, the women that are not getting that attention from me are most likely going to want to change. If they want my attention, they're going to adapt the behavior that I'm rewarding, therefore changing their behavior. Therefore, I'm inspiring the change to begin with.
You can't change a macro problem.
I'm not going to change I'm changing them, but I'm inspiring the very change that I want in them by not acknowledging them. They're not giving them the attention that they want.
Right, there's a yes to that, but it's so small.
But here's the problem. If you have a person that's used to eating junk food, and you open up a health food store next to a junk food store, they can still go to the junk food store.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, but it's like if they want, it's like this. Let's say they want to get trained by Trey, right? But they're overweight, right? He's saying, hey, I'm not going to train you if you can't do 5 push-ups. Yes, before I start training you got to do 5 push-ups on your own. If they really wanted his attention and, to be in that circle with him, they would do what they need to do to change that problem and do the 5 push-ups so they can get the attention from him. So if the guy is of value enough, if the woman finds you of value enough, could that, you not acknowledging her bad behavior, inspire her to change?
No, because you live in a society that has trained the overweight person that they should still be able to get a valuable man in that state.
Hey, Glenn, I got some pushback for the whole thing.
Yo, Scam.
Yeah. Yo.
Hey, if you don't mind, I can't interrupt this beautiful show with this brief message.
Go ahead.
Genesis. Tell your girl Nepal to go tell her husband, Shanetta, who came on here and asked me to get this in writing. And I sent it to him 10 days ago, and they ignored it. Now this nigga Chuck Morgan ducking me. Go tell him to stop letting this nigga duck me. He damn near 60 years old playing Duck, Duck, Goose. Call her right now and tell that nigga they came up here and talked all that shit and capping. And now Chuck Morgan seen that in writing and he running from me. Tell him stop ducking me.
What the hell? I don't know.
I'll send him a message.
Call her right now.
It's 2:17 in the morning.
I don't give a shit.
I'll text her and let her know. They
All right, cool. My bad, y'all. Proceed.
All right, you good?
There's only 2 things. Look.
Bye, Trey. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, Angry Man. Let me get in there.
T, don't leave. I actually like your presence here.
Thanks.
Hey, why are you leaving?
I'm gonna just go because I'm sleepy. But I love y'all. I'll be back though tomorrow. I love y'all. Good night, Trey. Thank you for having me. Angry Man. Everybody. Love y'all. Deuces.
Yeah, Glenn, the problem is this. The first thing is this. The only person you can hold accountable to anything is your damn self.
Yep, I agree.
Get up here on the internet and tell Angry Man and P Smurf how many hoes they can bang this month, this year. I can't do that. I can't tell the hoes that they banging, hey man, make sure they pay. How much they other grown people?
Well, I think you could.
Then I can't go get my own cut of the hose. if that was what I was doing. I'm innocent, but I'm a virgin. But no, this whole accountable and this whole we're gonna be all this collective, whatever, the answer is no. People are selfish and they're individualistic. Starting with me. What you can do is you change
people that value you. Like if they respect
yes, you can do that, but understand that that's so macro that don't have
that's
this.
That's what I said. That's what I said on a micro, on a micro level. I said on a micro level so like when it's like so I'm looking at it from a guy's perspective. If a guy's saying there's all these 304s, but he's entertaining all these 304s, then the reason why you're dealing with nothing but 304s is because you're entertaining the very behavior that you dislike. So if you don't acknowledge and don't reward them by giving them any attention, and only reward the attention of the women that you do like, right, that are behaving in the manner that you do like, then the women that want your attention, but they're not getting your attention because they're misbehaving, are going to want to adapt, because women are adaptive by nature, right? Their nature is
no. Here's the problem. The problem is this: when you're talking about a 304, whatever it is, a bad woman, you got to get to the root problem of why they're bad and why the behavior is happening. It's not necessarily to get this guy, because that means you're asking a woman to turn who they are into something that they're not for this dude. And if that did happen, naturally people turn back into what they actually are. So that'd be setting the dude and the woman up for disaster. But I'm gonna say that I'll say this: the crutches got to go when it comes to accountable and whatever. Like the drunk firefighting dude or whatever, he can come here knowing he's chasing and scrambling, can't even pay for the holes that he wants. But you can throw emotional in the sky and use that as your excuse for your bad behavior. You can throw something's wrong with the women, the rain, the sky. You know how them people are. It's the Christians, it's the Muslims, it's always something else. To the point where you can't even get started for the person to even start in the mirror to say, hey man, what you doing? You got a prescription, or you got a VIP club to hoes.net and bimbos.com. You're the problem.
Scam.
You can't even start there.
Scam.
One more thing, then I'll pass it. And Angry Man, and a lot of us, y'all know, because I've been in this space, the very ones talking about the 304s, how much they hate them. They love them.
They love the hoes. That's the thing.
They're mad because they can't get the 304 that they want. Not the virgin. Ask them about these holy women. They got nothing to say. If you want to mute a dust panel with 10 people arguing, ask them about some holy good women. You'll hear crickets for minutes.
Well, you also got to look at the economical and the social aspect of it too. Is that
has nothing to do with economics?
Well, actually, I mean, explain it does. For men, it does. Because men, the shows that are panel shows that are like, Fresh and Fit, whatever podcast, they put on a very specific type of woman, because a very specific type of women are going to be interested in going on those shows. How often do you see marriageable women on those shows? Like, oh, that's wifey type. The way that she's talking, the way that she's answering. Yeah, so that's the monetization aspect for men. Men are commercializing it. They're making money off of rewarding bad behavior by giving them the attention that they say that they want to stop, but not highlighting any of the attention of good women that we want to implore.
No, they don't want the good women. There's 5,500 dudes paying money they don't have to these women. That's what they want.
And y'all always misdiagnose this. Y'all always misdiagnose this. Dudes that do shows like that, they wasn't doing shows like that for the money. The money was the side effect. The money was the benefit that came later. Dudes was doing shows like that because they wanted to be around those type of women. That's what it was about. Dudes wanted to be around those type of women because a lot of guys didn't get to be around those type of women coming up. So now they get the opportunity to, think about it like this. You're growing up, you in school or whatever, right? The girls that are the baddies, the ones that you could never get because they dating a star athlete or they dating a cool guy or whatever, right? Now we got the internet. Now, because you have a platform that offers women the ability to get attention, they come to the platform Now you get to sit those women in front of you, the woman that used to date the jock, and grill her to figure out why she never liked you.
Exactly.
The side effect is, yeah, there's money coming into it because there's a lot of guys that fall into that category.
Yep.
So of course they're gonna support that, because the same way the guy sitting at that table is asking that baddie across the table why she didn't like him, the guys that's watching it want to know, yeah, why didn't you like us?
Yep, exactly.
That's where it originated from, and the money side of it comes later, and then it's like, oh, we can make money doing this too. Let's do it. So it compounds and shit. And the problem, here's the problem. This is where the biggest problem comes in. The worst thing you could ever do is give attention to a woman that's behaving badly.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the worst thing you could ever do. And unfortunately for us, in this day and age, we literally have platforms.
Exactly. Exactly.
But watch this, AM. But watch this.
But you're literally pointing out my problem. My point is, instead of platforming the very bad behavior of women that we don't want, why don't we platform the behavior from women that we do want? Because that doesn't sell at this point. It just doesn't sell.
Here go the thing about it though, Glenn. You got to also look at the fact now that they got the money. Once again, it doesn't still take away those characteristics. That's why a lot of them still butthurt. You see what I'm saying? So remember, we say it all the time. It's a lot of nerds now with money. Guess what the women saying? Oh, we want that money in order for you to hang with us. We want that because just like
$59,
just like it's 50% of men that are going to pay. What we always say also, if you really like him, you'll give it to him for free. That's why it's a lot of bum dudes that they give it to the free, right? They give it to them, got babies by them and everything, and guess when they ready to settle down? Now when it's time to settle down, guess what? They looking for the one lane with the money, and he like, well, what about your baby daddies and the 3 baby daddies? That's them dudes you talking about.
Let's see, P. Smurf, check this out.
Go ahead.
I can't name how many times the idea has been pitched to me to do a show where I have women on the show and I do a show like that, right? Yep. And my response is always the same. I have a wife.
That part.
I don't want to fuck these women out here.
Come on.
So I'm not sitting here trying to figure out why this chick ain't gave me the time of day or this, that, and third. And then on top of that, in my lifetime, I've had enough women, to satisfy whatever urges that I had back in the day. So I've had women in my face. So I don't need to figure out why this, that, and third. Now, what I do speak on is basically probably what Glenn speaks on, which is why there are so many problems nowadays in the dating and mating world. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to figure out why these women pursue certain type of guys. I already know why they do it. You know what I'm saying? I already know why they do it. So I don't have to sit a woman in front of me and question her about that because I already know the damn answer. And then on top of that, I don't really see the value in taking chicks that are obviously airheads and trying to have an intellectual conversation with them like I don't know that they're gonna say some stupid shit. I know they're gonna say some stupid shit. You feel what I'm saying? But once everybody figured out that actually sells, that actually gets attention, that actually gets views, that has now become the driving factor in it. So when you look at guys and you say, well, why is it guys don't have conversations with women that are, marriageable, right? There are guys that have those conversations. There are guys that have those panels. People don't watch them.
Exactly. That's what I'm pointing out, because the sensationalist of the drama of it's your fault, that sells because there's a lack of accountability on both ends. you know, is what I'm pointing out at. It's like there's a lack of it's like there's a fueling of the fire of the gender war instead of saying, hey, you know what, man? Why are we even giving these women that we don't want the time of day? Like they should not even exist in our world. Why are we even acknowledge their existence if we don't
they
like
want them. They want
exactly.
them. Them women want somebody else.
Them.
But them women want somebody else, and remember they mad. Because the first thing they'll say is you want the 10% of men. What about us?
So then what I'm pointing out right here
out in that aspect to say
so what
why
you're pointing
you want
out
them
is
10% when it's another 90% of us that we want you.
so what you're pointing out is men are acting just as emotionally and reactive as women are.
Oh, indeed.
When we say women are being emotional,
and I
it's just demonstrated differently. It's just demonstrated differently.
Because
basically what it boils down to is this. The women that are behaving badly are online upset because they feel like they're entitled to men's money. The guys that are behaving badly are online upset because they feel like they're entitled to women's
pussy.
That part.
So that's where all of it is coming from.
It's a sense of entitlement.
Yeah,
it comes down to this participation trophy world.
Hey, Glenn,
that we live in.
I'm gonna throw something else in there. This is in the fair zone. A lot of men were lied to and told, just like women were lied to. They said, and there's somebody for everybody.
Yep.
They got in a bad relationship and they said, scam likely with no shirt on and a briefcase full of cash is coming to come save you. You just gotta wait, be patient. They lie. And when they get 3 raw dog Ronnies and they're done. By 28, 34, now they're on the feminist channel, they hate everybody.
Yeah, it's
and
like
but on the other side, the dudes were told, all you got to do, my brother, when you get you a job and you have a degree in your hand, all the doors of opportunity are gonna open, son. That's all you gotta do. He's 23, got a job, struggling, got a car with 3 hubcaps on it, or it might actually be all right, but the women are not there. But they told him he's gonna wave his degree in the air and all these women are gonna come start submitting, cooking a sandwich, and they got 3 kids and a dog. And it was a lie. And they're still mad. And here's the worst part. The content creators, instead of telling them, hey man, relationship problems have relationship solutions, which means you need to work relationship skills, talking, listening, communicating, being attractive, being more influential. Instead, they told them, go to the gym, get some money. So now you got a big steroid Sammy over here with a briefcase full of money. Even matter because now he ain't got no excuses why he can't get no. He making $138,000 a year. I come in here ugly and take his woman. He really mad.
Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, and this is the part that men forgot, right? I was having a conversation with Beans one day, and I was talking about how successful Black people could be, right? And I pointed out one group. I said one group is only a very small percentage of the population, but as a whole they make a lot of money, right? And so he was like, well, I said, so you can be successful. I'm like, you have the opportunity to be successful because you're here in America. And he said to me, everybody ain't gonna be rich. And my response is
not defined by rich.
But see, this was what my response was to him. Why does everybody have to be rich for you to be rich?
Come on.
So
why are you defining success by being rich?
But even if that's your marker of success, it is what it is. The point is, regardless of what you use as the measuring stick to determine your success as a man, men have forgotten that many are called but few are chosen.
There are those that sent. And then there are those that sent. So that's another smaller number. Go ahead, AM.
Yeah. So what they don't understand is all of us ain't supposed to get the baddest chick. All of us ain't supposed to be the richest. All of us ain't supposed to be like, see, the funny thing about it, right? One day I was watching Good Times, right? And I was watching how James was so in love with Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Florida ain't the baddest chick.
Nope.
But see, there used to be a time where people knew what their level was. They knew what their lane was. You feel me?
Come on.
But see, nowadays, you got guys out here that are at this level, but they want a chick at this level. And
they think they're entitled to it too.
And they feel entitled to it. And see, this goes back to what Scam was just saying, right? One thing I gotta disagree with Scam on, that's not the lie that they was told. The lie that they was told wasn't that you got to get a degree and you got to get money. The lie that they was told was all you got to do is be yourself.
Mm-hmm. Just be you. That's the lie that was told. You feel what I'm saying? No, you can't just be yourself. If you want a bad chick, you got to be a phenomenal dude in multiple categories. You
must be a phenomenal dude.
That's another lie. I agree with that, Nigga Man. That's another lie also told.
Look, you gotta be you. There's a lot of categories you gotta mark off, and even if you mark off all those categories, you still not guaranteed to get the chick. This because here's the problem: guys have this chick in their head. It's a fictitious chick. Mm-hmm. It's a fantasy chick, right? And so what they do is they go out here in the world and they try to find the chick that fits that chick in their head. And what they don't realize is you got an imaginary chick in your head. She don't exist. You got to deal with what's out here. You feel me? So what you got to do is first of all, you got to be realistic with yourself. You can't be expecting a perfect woman and your ass ain't perfect. You feel me?
Why not?
You said, why not?
No, I'm just playing.
Oh, I was getting ready to say you wild. I was getting ready to say you wild, but no, but see, my thing is this, right? When I first came to this space, right, and I was talking my shit, I'm talking my shit about my experiences with women. Like, I'm not talking from the position of, oh, I couldn't get this woman, or I couldn't get that woman, right? I'm talking from the things I experienced dealing with the women I dealt with and all of that shit, right? And I made the mistake of thinking that everybody else was speaking from that position. And then later I realized, oh, y'all talking like this because you mad at the women because you wasn't able to get the woman. See, that's a different conversation. And that's where the concept of red pill rage comes from. It's when you believe the lies that Scam was just talking about. Mm-hmm. And you think that if you do all of those things, you check those little boxes or whatever, you're entitled to something. You're going to be granted a certain type of woman. And when you realize that it's not true, instead of saying, well, damn, let me look at reality for what it is and recognize what I can do and what I can't get. See, the funny thing is, for some reason as men, we don't apply the same logic to women that we apply to everything else.
Everything else. Trust but verify.
Exactly.
You don't ever trust but verify.
If a guy...
that was really profound. That was pretty profound, Eric, man. You gonna pick cook.
No, but seriously, you as a guy, you don't see guys online right now crashing out because they're not millionaires. You see what I'm saying? If you think if a guy wants to be a millionaire, he wants to be rich. If he's not able to get that, sooner or later reality sets in. Is like, man, let me take my ass to work and get this job, and do what I got to do, and handle my business. Yeah, let me go handle my business. Like, he may have had dreams of being a millionaire, but when reality sets in, it's like, look, I still gotta do what I gotta do. And it's the same thing when you dealing with women. You may have wanted Halle Berry, but you at some point you got to wake up and realize you can't get Halle Berry. You might need to talk to Mary down the street. She don't look like Halle Berry and she ain't no movie star, but she'll probably treat your ass right. You feel me?
They can't get married either.
They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. No, here's a reality, Scam. Here's a reality. There's a lot of
men are just as delusional. Men are just as delusional as women delusional.
There's a lot of chicks. There's a lot of chicks. See, I believe this. I believe the same way women are talking about they can't find a good man, when the reality is the good man was right in front of them. They just didn't want him. It's the same thing with the dudes. They want a good woman, or they claim they want a good woman, but the woman that would be a good woman to them, they don't want her. They want the one that's gonna ruin their life if they got
want Holly Berry.
Yeah, they want the one that's gonna ruin their life, and that's the main reason why you see content creators now that they got fame and a little bit of money or whatever, getting with these chicks, and these chicks is trying to ruin their lives.
Hey, Anger Man, something you said that did click. There's no dudes hitting links, going from panel to panel saying I can't lose no weight. That's a 3-minute conversation. And they're going to get dusted all the way off to the max. And it's like, dude, really? This is what we're doing? You telling me, open your fridge right now, and you see Fruit Loops and butter biscuit. Like, come on, bro. Get the hell up off my panel. You don't hear, like, making money. Okay, what do you do? What's your degree in? What do you do? Business? You sell insurance? What? Oh, man, I ain't had a job in 2 years. Man, get the hell up off my panel. But you can go panel to panel, and people will make every excuse for you. Man, women's. Literally, I'm not married. I could go panel to panel, but difference is I told some of my story. I had great women. I messed it up. I didn't screw nobody over, but I just didn't know what I needed to know to get to that next level. It is what it is. I don't have bad experience. I got nothing negative to say. A couple of them are married. So you're talking about, well, what kind of woman you was dating? They're married. But that's me holding self accountable, and also let's say, okay, what can I do better so I don't do that very thing again? But again, yeah, I got to put myself on panel and dust my own damn self off. But dudes can go every 30 minutes, circle around to the white, to the Hispanic, to the Yugoslavian dust panels at this point, saying what's wrong with these women. And then you can, like the guy said, just throw the word emotional in the sky. And I asked him, what emotions are you dealing with? And all he can talk about is some numbers. I'm like, those ain't emotions.
Yeah.
You the problem.
Yeah. So
What's the dust? You always say that. I swear I don't know.
Because as men, what we do is we have no problem giving men a reality check when it comes to everything except women. You see what I'm saying? Except women.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
My married friends or my successfully married or decent, they dust me off directly. That's what I get. What do I? And I'm just holding the phone up. Because it's reality. I can't argue it right. Can't do it. And I definitely can't throw the women out here. 38.6% of the men. And anybody trying to hear that. It's like, all right, what about you? Blah, blah. No.
You got guys up here. And this is when I realized that something was wrong, right? One day I'm doing a show, and some kind of way I start talking about women that are celebrities, right? And I start talking about the women that are beautiful women, right? And I put a couple of women up there, right? And there are literally guys in my chat room saying, "Oh,
she's a mid.
She's a 2. Yeah. Or she's a 4." And I'm like, nigga, you won't even turn your camera on.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, how can you? And look, here's the thing. I've seen women come up on these panels that
turn my camera on. How you doing, Mo Love, if you watching?
I've seen women come up on these panels and they be good looking women, right?
Yep.
And when they get into a back and forth with a dude, dudes will start running them down.
Yep.
And I'm like,
trying to neg them. Just neg them.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, what type of see, here's the thing. In real life, when I see men out here, right, I see the type of women that men are with on a regular. I'm talking average everyday guys, right? Dudes come on the internet and they act like they would never date no chick unless she looks like freaking Vanessa Williams in her prime. And I'm like,
oh yeah, that's bad.
It's a cop
they're
out.
they're like, yo, well, she has to have, like, this was the craziest thing. And I don't know what type of guys these guys are. One guy said, well, any chick that I date, she got to be such and such dress size. And I'm like, as a man, how do you even know what a woman's dress size is?
You know how. He put it on. Quit playing.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I swear to God, I don't know women's sizes in nothing. I don't know none of that shit. Like, why would a guy know that?
No, if you say it, you gotta back. If you say it, you gotta back it up. If a dude's 433 pounds, 5'2", and broke and stuttering when he's talking about I want a dress size 2, like, come on, bro.
Dang, why you have to say 5'2", bro?
No, I'm just saying, the dude. I mean, if you haven't dated these women before,
That's funny.
If you're not in that ballpark range, you kind of can't be talking about that. Now, I date ugly with
Genesis Chuck Morgan 5'2".
You said what?
Who's Chuck Morgan?
Dude, that's ducking me.
Oh, he 5'2". Oh, okay.
Well, this kind of goes back to
if it's 5'2", you don't got to like ducking. It should be easy.
This kind of goes
that's
back
why
to
he's
the
doing it so
question
easy.
of problem solving.
But my bad. Go ahead.
I'll say this kind of goes back to the question of problem solving. Men are not being realistic when it comes to problem solving, right? Like, I look at problem solving. You gotta look at problems like an architect. You know, let's say a guy is broke. He has women walking all over him, and he can't keep a job, right? To me, that's like, it's not like 3 different problems. That's 2 problems. He doesn't have boundaries. He doesn't respect himself. So he has lack of self-respect, and he has lack of discipline, right? If as an architect, when you're looking at like a frame, when you're building a plan, and you're looking at as an architect, you're looking at like how things are connected and interconnected together. And it's like, well, it could be one problem that's manifesting 3 different ways, or it could be 2 problems that's manifesting 2 different ways that are overlapping on the third. But they only fix the symptom of the problem. They only address the symptom, but never the root part of the problem. And I think that's when I was bringing up, do men cause the problem? Are we problem solvers, or are we creating the problem that we have? Is because we're only trying to address the symptoms. We think that calling out women for their bad behavior is going to address the problem. No, we're just addressing the symptom. We're not addressing the root of the problem. The root of the problem could be men giving the attention to these bad behavior women to begin with, and therefore that's encouraging women to behave badly.
Or the problem that they're calling out is just a deflection and the excuse for why they can't get a woman.
Exactly. They don't want to have to level up to be better, so they rather just like,
hey, Glenn, real quick, Glenn, let me ask you. You don't believe there's no bad women? I'm just curious.
No, I think women are just women.
So you don't think
what does that mean?
That don't make no sense, Glenn.
No. That's why I'm asking. What does that mean? I'm asking him to clarify.
Yeah. So the same woman that you think you would call a bad woman might be a good woman to angry man. She may treat him better than she treats you just because she sees his value.
So hold on. So let me ask you this. All right. So I'm a single man, right? And this is years ago. So I'm not talking about anything that happened current. So there was a married woman that liked me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she liked me to the extent that she liked me. She showed up at my door wanting to have sex. Was I wrong? Hold on. Was she wrong?
Well, yeah, she was wrong for her husband. But was it wrong for you at the time? Probably.
Come on, Glenn.
Come on, Glenn. Let's not do that. Was she a bad woman or not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She was doing bad behavior to her husband.
Was she a bad woman, Glenn?
So that's why I asked you, are there bad women? Do you believe that there are bad women? A woman that
but okay, let's say that same woman that was willing to cheat on her husband, right? With you. Let's say you were her husband, and she saw that you are more valuable and not worthy to, or not worth losing, and so she wouldn't cheat on you. That same woman would be the same woman.
Nah.
Yeah, you just.
I'm pointing out the woman.
We can't rephrase.
Yeah, you just.
What I'm pointing out is behavior. We're talking about behaviors, and I'm talking about people the same people that would be doing bad behaviors could also do good behaviors to the people they see value in. So it's like what I say all the time. I don't expect people to do.
Hold on, that doesn't that doesn't hold them accountable for being a bad person, though, Glenn.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about accountability. I'm saying the behavior. The same person that would do something bad to you may do something good to Angry Man.
That still makes him a bad person.
That still made him a bad person.
I don't think
the relationship.
it's good or bad. There's no
What
such
I'm
thing as good or bad.
in this
It is
example,
what it is.
she's
Like,
bad.
Genesis,
people are being human.
Genesis, now you're lying. Now you're lying.
No, he gave a specific example though. A married woman.
But I'm pointing out to the for the individual that is the woman is cheating on with, right? He's not looking at her as a bad woman. He's like, cool. He's fucking her. If he thought he was a bad woman, he would be like, no, I don't want to be right.
Let me ask you this, Hold on, Glenn. Let me ask you this: Do we smash women that we don't respect?
Absolutely.
So what are you talking about?
But hold on.
But then you're saying the sex is like
what
the
would drive
ultimate.
a woman to show up to a man's house and want
Because she's a bad woman.
So she's a bad person with bad character.
Hold on.
Yeah, you said she's
You
married.
don't know the entire crux of the relationship.
It doesn't matter.
We don't need to know that. We don't need to know that.
It does matter because you don't know if this guy
No,
was
the default is she's married and it's bad.
Hold on, Genesis.
Give me the
That's
whole
not a reason to go cheat on your husband.
Give me the whole story.
No, Genesis. That's not a reason you get a divorce.
Beating the shit out of her.
Well, get a divorce. What are you talking about?
Okay, let me change the premise to this. Let's say
So wait.
Let's say like
but
Trey
Trey
like
might have
me.
been like making her feel a certain way, and that's why
It doesn't matter. She's
It
married.
doesn't matter. What
Not
are
a
you
married
talking about?
woman showing up at
She's
somebody's
a
door.
married woman.
that is
too
weird to
extreme.
show up at
If she
somebody's
don't,
house, but
You can't.
That's
you
too
can't
extreme.
justify
That is
adultery
weird, showing
in
up
a
somebody's
sense
house.
and bring somebody into your mess. That ain't one. That ain't fair. Two. That ain't
Yeah,
right.
she conceded. She conceded.
Okay.
yeah, that might have been mental illness. Somebody showed up at your house. That's
No, it's not. It's bad character.
The
no,
default,
like that's
got all
what
this
someone
shit
showed
in
up
the
at your
world.
house.
default is it was bad.
God, Genesis, come on,
Genesis.
quit taking
Someone
up for you
showed you your
trash
house,
women,
they would have
Genesis.
sex with you and they're married.
Genesis. The default is it was bad. That's an exception over there with the mental, but default 9 out of 10 times.
Let me ask you this.
But
So
there's
the thing-
more to unpack here because
No, it isn't.
No.
There's no more to unpack. We don't need to know no more.
Default is bad. And it was just an example.
default is bad as an example. However,
That's not one to unpack. It was just a generic whatever. We just classify it as bad.
So let me
Genesis, so
ask-
watch
let me
this.
ask-
Hold on. Watch this, Glenn. One more. I don't mean to cut you off, Glenn. So Genesis, if I was abused as a young man, as an adolescent, and then I get in a relationship and I abuse you, are you gonna feel sorry and accept me and stay in a relationship and feel sorry because I went through because of what I went through as an adolescent and I used that to justify me putting my hands on you?
Uh-oh.
Hey, Trey.
a lot of women do that. I'm not.
No.
A lot of them do.
I asked you.
He asked you.
Well, I
go
have
ahead.
done it before. Yes, I have.
I was going to say a lot of them do it, and they really don't know that it's not the right thing to do.
So I gotta be real about like myself. I'm not
being
gonna
honest.
lie and pretend like I have not been like, well, I've been abused before. And,
Genesis,
like,
you already
this
killed
person
your
was
argument.
in. Hold on, this
Genesis,
person was in prison.
With my
this, and the other.
scenario,
I made up excuses.
Genesis, you already killed your argument, darling.
How did I kill the argument?
Genesis, it was a hypothetical, so it wasn't one to unpack. If it was a real scenario,
But the
maybe it
thing
could be unpacked on mental illness, but 9 times out of 10, it's still default bad. Showing up at somebody's, and you even conceded.
Scam,
Well,
even
yeah,
if you
showing
got
up
a
at
mental
somebody's house
illness,
is
you're a
weird.
grown
That is
woman.
strange. Somebody showing up at somebody's house is weird. However,
Yeah, and it was a
when I'm-
hypothetical. Therefore, it's just going to be good or bad.
I calculate, I'm a Gemini. I calculate everything. I'm like, but you are a personal trainer where you're personally training. My mind goes into like a whole thing where she might have built a bond with him as.
Let me
Genesis,
present
I
this
understand,
and then she
but it
feels
still
a certain
doesn't.
way because she might be being treated. My mind goes into a whole story. You can't tell me.
All right. We're not in that story. Let me ask this question. All right, so let's say if Scam Likely lied about Peef Smurf, but Scam Likely never lied to me or lied about me. See how Scam Likely is a bad person to Peef Smurf, but according to me, Scam Likely is good people's. He didn't do me bad.
Man, you're comparing a lie to a woman committing adultery.
I'm talking about the principle.
I know where he's going with this.
It's the principle. So the same thing that a woman, the man was bad. Scam Likely was bad to Peef Smurf for lying, but at the same time,
she's bad in general.
But again, watch this. You know what I believe?
Hold
on, y'all. Hey, you know what I believe? I believe it's just a matter.
I'm not saying overall Scam is not bad for lying, but I'm saying for the individual, he's a good person to one person he's not lying on, and he's a bad person to the person he lies on.
But hold on, Glenn, I'm rocking with you. But you know what I believe? It's just a matter of time before you lie to me too.
Facts.
Period. That's your character.
That could be true.
She just want to have sex. So
I'm neutral on this.
What does that mean, Genesis? She's still committing adultery. What are we doing?
She just might have needed some sex. Might be want to be banged out. You know?
Genesis, you're reaching. No,
I'm not reaching.
That don't make
no. She really believe that, bro.
Whatever. There's more to the story.
But that still means she's a bad person, correct?
No, it just means.
So you don't think a woman cheating on her husband because he wants some sex is a bad person?
I listen. I say.
I think you're reaching too far to make her a good person. It's too much.
Listen about her. Listen, people are people.
Human
beings are people. Listen, there are people that will in their mind, whatever they do is not a bad thing in their mind. So therefore,
that doesn't matter if it's in their mind. That's irrelevant.
So you have to decide what your standards are about what's good and bad. Everybody's standards of good and bad are not the same. So I don't believe. I believe
when you take vows to somebody,
I believe that good and bad is a subjective matter that is individualized to the person. So to her,
your conscience let you know.
There's people that's married that are swingers. There's people they're in open relationships and all types of different things. So maybe who knows? So it's not a reach. There's people that
everybody got a conscience.
There's people that are in whole swinger relationships where they're allowed to do that type of stuff. So he gave.
But they allowing it though. They're not taking vows saying that they're not going to do that. You are reaching.
Married, but listen, you took a vow, but you be married, and then you say.
But they are agreeing to it. Genesis, you are reaching royally, like you.
Give the full story.
Genesis,
it doesn't matter.
The example was meant to express
said, you know what, I want to bang this dude out. You not just want to do it.
Y'all, you got it.
He said, go ahead and go. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's going on.
This is too much.
No, it's not too much. You guys, everything you guys live life in y'all cannot tell me y'all live life in this this bold.
No, I live life according to morals, and you can believe it or not.
No,
if a person is a liar,
morals are subjective.
I understand what you're saying.
Cool, and they are subjective. Real quick,
I'm saying the example was expressed for a certain reason and in a certain way.
It's not always good for the gander.
Genesis,
you have to just not being realistic about life.
No, you're not being realistic. If a person,
you're not.
You're not. Definitely not. Because if a person chooses to say, "I'm going to do X, Y, Z," meaning they're promising to do something. That is a marriage. You want to bring up swingers. We're not talking about swingers. This person was not a swingers and it's hypothetical.
How do you know?
When you, he didn't because it's a hypothetical.
Because
it's a hypothetical.
He just gave this part of the story. So see what happens is
that
you guys
Genesis, but we're not talking about
that tells me how you guys are so judgmental.
No, it's not judgmental. It is what it is.
And then you make the rest of the story of how it is and don't even think that they're
so Genesis, you don't believe in good and bad? Genesis, you don't believe in good and bad?
I believe that it's subjective according to the person.
Oh, okay. So
according to the person.
So is a PDF file, is it good or bad?
Hold on, let me just tell you this. I
just let you talk. You just over talking.
No, I'm not done. I could blow a person's head out, right? But if I'm in the military, I can do the same thing, and it's not bad, right?
Bottom
line is that bottom line, I can go to war and kill a bunch of people. Am I a serial killer? But if I do it over here and do it in New York, I'm a serial killer. But I can go over to Iran and do the same thing and kill a bunch of people, and now I'm a war hero. The bottom line is subjective according to what the situation is and you have to have more context. You can't just say, "Oh, a person does this. What do you think?" That's a trick bag with what you just got put into, because
that's what you're doing, though, Genesis.
No, what I'm doing is
it'll
showing
never end if you do
more
this.
to it than what people think.
No one can ever. Genesis.
So she basically saying she don't believe in morals.
Genesis, if you do this, every example, any example given will never go anywhere.
I believe that people
You're gonna keep going and going.
There are people in this life that's meant to do this, to do that. I don't judge what people are meant to do. There's people.
So you don't judge. So you don't judge a PDF file.
Yes, I do.
Okay, then, but you just said you don't judge. You just said they was meant to be that.
They are meant to be that, and they're.
So,
meant
but
to
you
be
just said you don't judge. Now you're saying you do.
But that does not mean that I don't like say that they shouldn't be dealt with.
So you picking and choosing what you judge. Then.
No, what I'm saying is there's certain things that are like off the table when it comes down to it.
So some things are objective then, huh?
It's never gonna end.
PDF, like dealing with children and hurting children is like off the table. I mean,
okay. So but hurting a grown man or grown woman is not off the table.
What I tried to explain to you is that
no, I just want you to answer my question. I ain't asked you all of that. I let you go and I let you talk.
Hurting a grown woman could be off the table as well. Murder is off the table as well. But what I'm saying is that okay, but at what point though? If you're in a war,
at the point when you give somebody your word that you're not going to do something, and then you turn your back and do it.
Like I said,
or when it's not going to end.
You're not.
You're right, bro. You're right,
You're not getting my point.
Genesis.
No, you're not saying rock. What you're saying is not rocket science. I get it. We just disagree.
If they're cheating on their husband, that's wrong. However, he only gave a small portion of the story, so therefore, I mean, I don't look at things.
That's the only.
You can't give me a. No, you can't get. No, that's not.
Hey, Genesis, it wasn't supposed to be something to open up.
If he would have gave the information that like if the woman was in an open relationship, if he would have said if a woman was in an open relationship and he came over to my house and she wanted to smash, would that be a bad woman? That would be a different scenario in total. He said if a woman is married and he came over my house, he didn't give the caveat of their relationship status.
Glenn, it's not going to end. Glenn, it won't end.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
It won't end.
There's to me, like I could give you an example of what I mean, but it's okay. You win.
No, Genesis, I understand exactly what you're saying.
A bad person. She's evil. She should be burned at the stake for what she.
I never said that, Genesis. I understand exactly what you're doing. There's always to the story, or whatever. But
I'm the devil's advocate. I'll be the devil's advocate. I think that a lot of times
if you advocate for the devil, you might get what you ask for.
Man, I don't.
You might be down there.
I don't believe in the devil, sir. Y'all are.
How you gonna advocate for what you don't believe in?
No, because it's a word. It's a name. Devil's advocate. That means a person, an adversary. I will take the adversarial tone because that's what the Satan really means. Let's not even get into that. So I will take the adversarial tone to say, like, listen, when you hear a story, you can't just jump to conclusions. So
I agree with
what
that.
y'all did, what everybody did,
but there's a line.
They heard a little nugget of information. Everybody jumped to a conclusion and
you
didn't hear the rest of it. And so to me, incorrect. I would not take a judgment off of a little bit of a story and then say, no, she's a bad person. Actually, I need to hear the rest of it. So that's the better way to be is to like not make a judgment until you hear the rest. That's all I'm saying. But you guys win. She's bad. She's terrible.
He gave the whole story. Once
she came to my door and said, "I want to have sex with you."
Glenn, what's the next question?
She's married.
She's married. She came to my door. She said she want to have sex. That's not the whole story. You don't know.
That is the whole story. Now you
don't know.
No, Peace Murph, it's not the whole story.
Have you never heard of there's three sides to every story? Your side, my side, and the truth. So that's not the whole story.
So here go the thing. How did he get in the story?
What?
If he's her trainer, how did he get in the story?
His side was, hold on. His side was she walked to my door and said she want to have sex with me. Her side could be a whole other story. The truth is both of their story. But the bottom line is that everybody's so judgmental that they only heard what he said and made a whole judgment, have no idea of the entire construct of it. And that's the problem with people, is that they make judgments.
There was no construct. It's literally a hypothetical.
Y'all, listen, it doesn't matter. No, you're not seeing what I'm saying.
I am seeing what you're saying. It's not rocket science. It's not quantum mechanics.
What am I saying?
It's not quantum mechanics what you're talking about.
I'm not saying it's quantum mechanics.
So it's not hard to see what you're saying. We see what you're saying.
All right, so what am I saying?
You
just said it 4 times. We good.
Wait, let me answer the question real quick, Harwin. I apologize for cutting your wisdom. What you're stating is this: she could have a reason for popping up at Trey house. She could be not getting sexual relations with her husband. He could be treating her wrong, and she need attention, and Trey gives her the attention that she desires.
She could have been depressed.
It could be so many different
so many
things.
other reasons.
Oh, being depressed is an excuse.
That's not the story. What comes into play is this: why would this woman come to my house knowing she's married and I don't mess with married women?
Honey, the first thing
and desire sex.
I would ask is, are you
That's
okay, man?
That's the question that I'm putting into play. Now, at that point, that's
are
a
you
bad
okay,
woman
man? How
for
are you
doing
doing?
some
What's
things
going
like
on with
that.
you?
Don't put me in the midst of your scenario.
So rather than you saying, "Dang, are you all right?" You know what I'm saying? I think that y'all really, if it really happened in a real life scenario, I don't think you guys would be as tough as y'all are all up on this panel saying.
What is tough when we having a conversation?
Like, would you be like, "You a bad woman? Get out of here! Fuck you, woman! Get the fuck about my front door!"
When did
you're a bad woman? You're a bad.
Absolutely,
you know
I don't have sex with married women.
Put a damn adultery thing on your
Absolutely,
head.
I don't have sex with married women.
To be
I don't play those games either.
You never exactly
I don't have sex with married women.
Here's the thing. That's what's wrong. Y'all only see it from y'all scope, and that's what the problem is.
So it's wrong that I don't have sex with married women?
No, it's wrong because you guys are not like, you guys hear a little bit of a story, you make a judgment.
It wasn't a story because it wasn't real. It was only hypothetical.
You guys are come on now.
Now, if it was a real story, what you would be saying
it could be hypothetical.
Could be valid, but most likely it wouldn't be valid because there aren't excuses to bypass bad behavior.
A better thinker than this.
I'm a very good thinker. I just don't make excuses for bad behavior.
You thought past go. You gotta think past go.
I just don't make excuses for bad behavior.
You hear what you want, and that's exactly what it is.
No, I heard what he said. I heard exactly what he said.
And that's all you heard, but you didn't read.
And that's all that it is because it's called a hypothetical.
Right. Well, a hypothetical, even in real life, there's more.
Well, hypotheticals is in real life.
There's more sides to the story, Harwin. Any story.
It could be in real life, but not to this hypothetical.
Side, you made a decision, and then you.
There was no other side. It's only the hypothetical.
That's the problem. There is always another side.
But in real life.
What was the topic of the show?
Always another side. He gave his side.
Not in the hypothetical. Did you not understand that?
No, do you not understand that there's always another side? Even
not in a hypothetical.
Yes, there is.
What's the other side to Trey's hypothetical?
Who knows? He never gave her side. All you heard
because that's all it was.
You made a
there was no need to unpack it.
No, it was a need to unpack it. That tells me your train of thought. You have
no, it doesn't because I don't make hypotheticals real life.
Listen.
No, I'm listening, but you're trying to make a hypothetical a real life situation.
But if you actually take a real life situation and you were to take this hypothetical out of that situation, you're very partial. You're not being impartial. You're not being fair.
I hear you.
You don't know what the full story is.
Okay, so give us a real story of a woman knocking on a man's door.
Yeah, you're not being fair to the microphone
You're
right now.
You're making a judgment on that. And then that's it. And just because of that, that's because it's hypothetical. It doesn't matter whether it's hypothetical.
It sounds like it bothers you right now because we had a conversation the other day about your real life.
It actually does not. It actually does not.
We had a conversation about your real life up here.
So now you want to like use an ad hominem and like bring my.
I didn't give no ad hominem. What ad hominem did I say?
No, don't bring up my personal. We're talking about this situation. Don't bring up my personal.
We're talking about a hypothetical.
Ad hominem.
I didn't give an ad hominem.
No, you were about to.
No, I wasn't.
You win. You right. You okay? You got it.
Hey, what was the next?
It was right. It was a hypothetical, and that was.
What was the next question or comment?
I forgot. Do fathers fail their sons by not protecting them from bad women then? The way that fathers protect their daughters from bad men?
The truth to that question,
yes,
there is no father saving the women's and leaving their sons to the. I guess some, but across the board, the fathers, and the daughters, and the sons are being failed.
yes.
I guess the question is: do fathers protect their daughters more than they protect their sons?
Yes.
No.
Is that failing their sons then?
In regards of relationships, most people's fathers and mothers do not equip them with what they need. Most fathers and mothers don't have what they need to begin with, and their parents didn't have it either. There was never a time where people had what they need relationship-wise.
And yes, Boosie failed his son when he tried to make him have sex with a streetwalker.
Somebody did that?
He failed his daughter by putting her business out on blast.
Yep. Yes.
And talking
yes,
about what she ain't this and she ain't look at my, yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Because I was, like 1/3 of the book of Proverbs are warnings for young men about women, right? But we don't ever hear anybody talk about that 1/3 of the book of Proverbs.
People talk about what's convenient.
I don't think a majority of people don't even read it, Glenn. That's the problem. Most of the time, it's a misunderstanding or interpretation of what they think it is versus reading for what it is, just like any other book.
Such thing as fake protection. Just like y'all know, I'm not an advocate for beating kids. That's fake protection. Or colonizing daughters. You can't date till you're 26. Or telling your son, I'm going to show you, we're going to go and get you out here with these hoes so you can learn the game. That's fake protection. Or you can't leave a house and can't do nothing because I'm keeping you safe. And now they got no awareness and no social skills. Fake protection.
Okay. Because I would say it's probably, on average, men are more protective of their daughters than they are of their sons.
For sure.
You're talking about safety?
Well, yeah, safety, but you could keep your son safe from a bad woman, right? Teach them what not to look for in a woman, right? But we see that more when it comes to our daughters with men.
I believe, Glenn, that a lot of times what happened is a lot of men just happy that their man got a woman. You feel me? From the likelihood of what we see when it comes to Sodom and Gomorrah type of times.
Huh?
So with the world we live in right now and the communities that's out there, I think a lot of time they're accepted of something versus nothing at all.
I'm sorry, I had to step away real quick. What was that?
I stated a lot of times it's because with the community that's out there, a lot of times they're more accepting of their sons having something versus nothing at all. So I'm proud that my son at least got a woman versus bringing in another one of him.
There's a fear factor on the other side, though.
That go to fear.
Your son's 15, he's dating a 14-year-old. You're happy for him or whatever. I'm not saying me. I don't have any kids. Your 15-year-old daughter has a crush on a man. And you go in panic mode and try to hide her under the bed. You turn her into a feminist, so she can't date till she's 26, and something's wrong with every man that's out there.
Yeah. And it's also a fear of the loss of control, right? Once again, a woman gonna bring home that baby regardless. Or what they used to say, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. That still hits strong. So a lot of men don't even know how to have that conversation even with their daughters. They fear that. And you even hear them say it. Like, I feared when my daughter came into a ministry, instead of sitting her down and saying, listen, baby, you're no longer a woman in the sense of nature. I mean, you're no longer a girl in the sense of nature. Now you're a woman, and you being a woman, and if you find a man that's fertile enough to, if you go through intercourse, then what can transpire is this. They scared to have that conversation, don't know how to have that conversation, or don't know how to approach it. And that's a big thing, right?
I've had that conversation.
Your story.
I had a conversation. Oh, go ahead.
You guys hear story?
Yeah, that's Trey. I won't say who, but indirectly this conversation been had because I'm a rare person who has his own talking points, and a lot of them go against the grain. And one of them is that scared dads create feminists. So they gotta, and it'd be somebody who have a daughter and a son. Sometimes they'll be on a panel. What would you tell your daughter and what would you tell your son? And it's real lax with the son. And then when it comes to the daughter, something's wrong with all the dude. So they advocate that these men are these super protective providers and all these talking points. But with their 14-year-old daughter, don't leave the house. These dudes are all after one thing. I'm like, it should be, that don't make sense. The dudes was cool until your daughter said, hey, I like Tony. Now something wrong with Tony. And his dad, and his brother, and all his friends. But it don't make sense. And like, how do you prepare your 13, 14, 15-year-old if she has no contact? Like, we already know that relationships work when people have relationship skills. And that's communication is number one. It's like 50, 60, 70, 80%. So restricting communication, how's that going to make this person some kind of super wife or whatever? How's that really going to work out? Or miscommunication. Oh, something wrong with him. He said his toenails was dirty, so something wrong with this dude. So you make up a prince in the sky that's supposed to get your daughter just because she's your daughter. And that, yeah, no. And the answer is just no. Don't do that. But there's been people who had the conversation. And it'll be unbalanced, and they try to cover it up like that's not what they're doing. Trade rattling the screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn, he really snoring. He got in that good REM sleep.
I wasn't told to go out and smash them hoes by my dad. It wasn't about that. But then I wasn't out there, so I didn't start dating until I was 18, 19. I was late. Used to be, surprisingly, I used to be scared to talk to women. And finally, when I shot my shot and didn't lose no, I'm like, hold up, this was free. It ain't cost me no money. I ain't go to jail. What the heck am I scared of this for? Started firing off. Got reckless. Shoot at anything. P. Smurf, you muted.
And scam likely most men are, right? Because once again, it's if a woman don't approach them, and that's a big problem with a lot of guys. And I never really truly realized a lot of guys are scared of being
rejected.
Yeah, rejected. There you go.
But see, like a lot of them, they didn't grow up in the time. They grew up in a lot of technological era. Like we grew up in the time where it's like, hey, if you wanted to holler at a girl, you had to go up and approach her. You had to talk to her. You had to risk being rejected publicly. These kids ain't come from the same cloth. They can't do that. They swipe.
But irregardless of that, they still wasn't doing it, Glenn. There have been encounters where I had with, just say, going back to high school. And I never noticed how guys paid attention to me till one time we did like a class reunion of such. And once again, going, kicking it, the guys getting together to try to get bottles for women. He go, I'm just buying a bottle.
And one of the guys said in the cell, like, man, what y'all doing putting money? Like, we just going to get a few bottles. And one of the guys was like, hey, man, P. Smurf, you got the girls already. Give us an opportunity. And it threw me for a loop because I'm like, huh? So I look at my homie like, did you hear that? He like, bro, I heard it loud and clear. Say, but see, you fail to realize what's easy for you is difficult for them. And I say, damn, I never realized it because I never looked at them. But once again, those are the guys that looked up to me because I was the jock. I was the captain of the basketball team. I was one of those guys. So I didn't have problem with women because they was already always around me. They like the women that I like, that like me. I ain't care for the women like that. You know what I'm saying? So when it got to that point, I'm like, damn, I never really realized how much them guys was looking at me or looking up to me or not even liking me due to the fact of a woman that they liked that was paying more attention to me than them. And remember, what you say, you had to go and get her number. They was handing me the number already. I can show you my yearbook. I got my guys used to call me like, bro, you got such and such number? Yeah, I got her number, bro. Hold on, let me go through my yearbook. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You got such and such number? Like, hold on, let me check my yearbook. Look, watch this. I'm gonna check my yearbook now. Let me see. What's your next question, Glenn? Before Trey draw us out.
Give it 5 minutes and I'm out too.
Yep, I'm with you.
So my question is, should we be encouraging men to fix themselves on the micro and stop worrying about what women are doing? Because if we're constantly talking about, well, women are doing this, women are doing that, aren't we still then pedestalizing them when we shouldn't be pedestalizing them?
The short answer is yes. The longer answer is people who see the world in the real 360 don't say certain things. They don't have certain conversations in certain ways. People who go and get it don't make excuses. People who hold themselves accountable or believe in form of discipline and focus or whatever, don't blame the sky and the moon and the dog for everything that goes on.
Yeah.
So separation factor you're going to see in most of these conversations. People who believe in have experienced good women don't spend 9 hours out of 10 talking about 304s and 305s, 306s.
That's a fact.
Yep. It gets to the point, and I'll just be honest. You think the women don't watch this and know what this is? You think they don't know?
Oh, they know.
Women who have dated, I mean, remember, a lot of women have been married, divorced, or at least maybe they didn't get the guy they wanted, but they were stuck on it. That guy didn't sound like this. Them dudes didn't sound like that.
Yeah.
They wanted to cook somebody a sandwich before and just submit and do all this stuff. And it wasn't a whining dude talking about what's your body count. That wasn't it.
Yeah, because the guy inspired that level of submission.
Like the dude who came up here, I ain't never had no chick come up, we're chilling, and they asked me for some gas money and then give me a $59 tab for the book. What? Or he's talking about normally after sex, they ask me to run a price. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that conversation is. I really don't.
That's a fact.
And here's the thing. I'm a single guy.
Yeah.
I'm not even a dude with 754 women. I'm single. But the actual successful married men, they're looking at it like this, like, really, bro? You're going to be the one reporting what's going on out here in these streets? Really?
Yep. And then also it goes back to those women, right? You want the 7, the 8, and you a 4 or 5, like a good woman.
But it goes down to one, their attraction to him. It goes back to what Angry Man said earlier. He definitely cooked on that. James Evan thought Florida was the best thing in the world to him. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, once again, we all got access and eyes on all these and everything that go into play. Or say, for instance, they do bump a girl on Instagram or some form of social media outlet, right? Then they see him in person. They like, you ain't this woman in person, right? Bro, give her opportunity. She may be just that one for you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
very rarely. Oh, go ahead. Okay.
No, go ahead, Scan.
Very rarely, and I won't say it never happened. Very rarely have I had some wild conversation where a chick say something off the wall. But it's a one conversation is over. This wild stuff. Are you gonna pay my rent? No. It's really that what? But I don't. The dudes are acting like every woman they meet, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, they ask them to pay the rent. And they sitting down with the accountant working out the numbers.
Yeah.
If this really is, let's just say it was true. How are you running across that? How?
They ran across it one time from that girl that they had on. Oh, it goes back to when we were young.
Or they didn't run across it. They heard somebody else that ran across it, so they want to spin it like it's their personal story.
Exactly.
It's easier to say something's wrong with the women and something's wrong with everybody else than the
rather than saying something's wrong with me.
Hey man, I can't get the woman that I want.
Or watch this. How many guys you knew were virgins ain't never get none when they was in high school and lied and said they got some?
I was telling the truth. I was 22, bro, and I was done. Now I could have got some, but I was late.
And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I think that's
they're not sold out of they're not sold out of vagina.
Hey.
They didn't sell out 2002 when I turned 20, or was it 03? They didn't sell out.
Yep. And there was a lot of guys like that, but to sit up there and lie. Right? So once again, when we talk about guys and men, once again, I say they two different things. We always say men. I put them in there's levels to maleship, and in maleship, you have boys, you have teenagers, you have young men, you have guys, and then you have him. You know what I'm saying? And when we see him, we know who him is.
Yeah.
Right?
I put him in two categories. There's males and then there's men.
Well, we all males. That's the gender.
Yeah, but then
we all males. But
we're all males by gender. But like, remember he used to have rites of passages for men? Like, we've done away with that. We need to bring that back, because real recognize real. And you can look across and be like, oh, he ain't a man.
No, we still got rites of passage. That's why you have guys that try their best to get up here and have the conversation that they really can't have. And that's who we talking about. We're talking about the guys. So go back to what Scan Lightly just said. I don't have those when we having certain conversations, and I'll listen most of the time. This is when I get into the conversation. Anybody will tell you that's on here. It's late because I'm listening and learning, because I don't have those issues. We're talking about women and this. I went from a marriage to another marriage. My wife just got better and younger. You know what I'm saying? I'm 48. My wife 35. Right? So
I'm going to tell you, I put up triple doubles.
I didn't have no children. I didn't have those problems. You get where I'm coming from? Well, you got gray hair, and when you see me in person, you ain't gonna have that complaint. And my wife will tell you, I get hit on while she's standing there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna tell you I put up triple doubles every week.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that. But to be honest, L's are cool.
Oh, they great. They great.
Ain't nothing wrong with I go out and there's a woman that I wanted and somebody else got her. She said no to me and said, I'm cool with that. All right. Hey, that dude up. Hey, man, hey, good work. Or, I mean, I'm not so stuck into this bullshit or this fake fantasy that I forgot what reality was.
Come on.
I have bad days.
Come listen.
People in my family die, or I get frustrated when, like, you don't got to be this fake perfect stuff. But overall, I got a good life. I look in the mirror and I like the person I am, and I know where I'm going.
There you go. There you
and it's from some of the L's. Like, now I put the W's cool too, but I'm saying
no, it's really because of the L's. The L's made you stronger. Once again, when I came up, it wasn't. I'm in between. It was either the light skinned guy, the pretty boy that they like, or it's the super dark skinned guy that they like. I'm in between. So most of the time, one of my homies would get chose before I got chose. And I liked it because what would transpire is when I did come around, I had more options, right? Because they end up getting the bad chick. But guess what? She wasn't always that. And what that did was that just opened up opportunities for me because guess what? Oh, you got her? Damn, she's nice. Okay.
She got a friend.
Okay, cuz, hey, what? Friend, cousin. I had options. Or most of the time the girls would be like, ooh, we got somebody for you. Oh, for real? Hey, and they didn't disappoint me neither. A lot of times they didn't disappoint me. But then it was times I had to take the third wheel. You feel me? The third one just didn't look that good, or the second one just didn't look that good. But we had some fun.
Even worse, I fumbled some assists.
Oh, yeah?
And then you got your homeboy beating you. Like, man, what the hell you done did?
Hey,
I got no problem. Here's the thing. I got no problem talking about my L's.
Hey, me neither.
No problem.
Hey, what Glenn said earlier, no bad women. Hey, at that period of time, I ain't care if they was ugly or not. It was so woman. And I was a teenager that was horny. You thought I cared? What?
I never really went to the substance, but I'll say that. I told this on one time. I was 20. Went down to Alabama to visit my sister 3 days. She was in college, engaged, about to get married. Then I go to Birmingham for a night. Then I was going to Atlanta for the weekend. I'm in Birmingham and I'm feeling good. I'm out of town, dressed all clean. Like, man, I'm gonna go to the mom, the man. And I saw this cute chick with her friend. I just do like this. I'm like, come here. This girl actually walked over and got right in my face. I still remember the eyeballs. The problem is I don't remember anything else. She got right in my face, put them eyeballs, had a smile. I blacked out.
That's it.
The line like a Bojangles type place to order some. All I remember, sir, are you going to order anything? I blacked all the way out.
You say all the way scared?
I don't remember her saying anything. I just remember the eyes. Then I remember them saying, are you going to order something? Straight up L. And I asked for it. Hey, it's part of the game.
Hey.
If I didn't, I wouldn't have had a story if I didn't at least step out there.
And I bet you didn't fumble the next go round, did you? I bet you didn't fumble that next go round, did you?
I had to recover from that one. I ain't gonna lie.
Hell yeah,
but I got back out there. But I just realized, hey man, you step out here, something on another level. I wasn't ready for that woman. She was on another level.
Yeah,
my eyeballs wasn't ready.
So was it fear, intimidation? What was it?
Kind of like a new person singing, and you put them on stage with 50,000 people.
Gotcha.
Or somebody stepping on the stage for the first time.
Gotcha.
Eyeballs, her stepping right up on, I couldn't handle it. Wasn't ready. But can't nobody roast me on that. Yeah, I did it. I'd do it again. Sure would. But it's a part of the game. Been, one of my friends was complaining about women's. I was still in college. He had graduated. Come on, man. All he does is go to work. Ain't no women's. Like, okay, really? Cool. 20 minutes, I'm coming to pick you up. We're going to Walmart. Sunday and Monday, this Walmart in Hampton, Virginia, Hampton University students go to all the time. There's going to be some women in there. We go in there, we walking in Walmart, and he sees a chick. His head is turned 90 degrees. I'm like, all right, man, go on, dude. You're going to go shoot at her. She looking so good to you that you ain't listening to nothing I'm saying. Your head turned 90 degrees. You know you got to go talk to her. Go on, I'll be over there. He went up and was talking to her. She said, she looked at him and was like, why is your hand shaking? He was so rusty. He was shaking, stuttering, nervous, everything. But he just knew, okay, I'm off my game. That's just what it was. He had to take that L. And then we had to roll out some more. He had to step his game up. That's all it was.
That's it.
But hey, sometimes you be rusty. Sometimes you fumble. Sometimes you get rocked. But get back out there, put up some points. I done put up some triple doubles before. But I remember them L's.
Oh, those L's changed our lives. It's not the W's. But look, man, I'm about appreciate the conversation.
A morning damn near.
Yeah, it definitely morning. Hey, chat, y'all have a wonderful, you know what I'm saying, to my brothers, love and respect. Ladies, y'all be safe and be wise out there. And we'll see y'all later on today, I guess.
Yeah, people in the chat, if you ain't taking no L's, you ain't doing no work. That's real life, not just with the women's. Step your game up. Peace out.